But I'm going to start this question, Mr. Brashear. Aside from the base, what is the #1 issue in your mind that faces Warner Robins?
38% increase in property crime over the last couple of years is the #1 issue that we face. And it also is very critical to the evaluations for the 21st Century Partnership and base realignment and closure. We have currently 8 positions in our police department that are funded but unoccupied. Another 3 for school research officers that are funded and unoccupied. And the first thing I do is sit down with Chief Evans and lay out a plan of an incentive to allow him to hire, train, and retain critical young people to fill those positions. So the crime rate that we have currently is just gotten out of hand, and we need to close it down. So more boots on the street. When you see police officers in your neighborhood, that's a deterrent to crime. So that's one way that we can get out and get in front of this issue. So that'd be one of my top issues. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Chuck.
I'll have to agree 100% with Mr. Brashear that it is the top issue. Crime is increased. I've been saying it since the campaign began that crime has increased, and we need to increase the number of police officers. Do that smartly within the budget, managing the budget as we go along so as not to create a burden on the budget as we increase the number of police officers. That is important, plus code enforcement, going hand in hand in particular areas of our town so that we ensure we have safe environments, we have happy environments, we have clean environments where people can feel secure, and therefore those people that are there can start developing businesses. We have business people who don't want to go into certain parts of town because they perceive that it's a high crime area. Well, if we increase the police presence, then we can start working on some economic development. We can start working on some of the community initiatives such as parks, sidewalks, roads, public transportation, and things like that. But crime has to be suppressed first, and you do that with presence, as Mr. Brashear said.
Thank you. Ms. Fulton.
My primary responsibility as mayor is to provide adequate public safety. I hate to be a copycat, but I've already talked about that in the past. We are not retaining officers, and we need to increase their pay so that they are paid what they are worth to do their job. Another thing I want to mention, though, is public works is very important, and I don't think that we have enough employees in public works. If you go down South Pleasant, North Pleasant Hill, and just look at the trash on the side and the overgrowth where it's not been taken care of. And that's Warner Robins, the gateway to Warner Robins needs to be beautiful. We have the new LEC now. The gateway needs to be looking great. So I think someone else already mentioned public works. There's poor morale there too. It's probably true because we don't have enough people to do the work. We've annexed so much property and we're not able to take care of what we have. And also the infrastructure, the water lines and the sewer lines are not kept up.
Thank you. Mr. Lee.
Thank you so much. Listening to the other candidates and their answers, they're taking a reactive approach to a situation, an issue at hand, instead of a proactive approach. Yes, there's a need to reduce crime. Locking the people up, that's not the answer. That's a reactive approach. What do we do to change the mindset? So there's a recipe for that. Changing the mindset in order to reduce the crime. We have to be honest with ourselves. We don't have the structured youth activities. In order to address and keep the youth engaged, we don't have the proper facilities. You can have all the police, you can hire all the police that you want, but if you don't have the proper programs in place in order to change the mindset of those individuals, it's just a revolving door. We have to address that. We have to be more proactive than reactive. We need for community policing. We need to, and there's grant money for that. That's why we're in need of a grant writer in the city whose job is to research and find the monies that are attainable that the city can obtain. And actually have police living in the communities and walking in the communities and have more of police present. Also, we need incentives for these policemen. If we're going to hire more, we need to do what we can to keep them there as well. And these these are areas that are of great concern. If we have more of a proactive approach, we'll be able to address the need of more policing and also address the need of reducing crime.
Thank you. Mr. Musselman.
Well, I agree that public safety is a big issue. We need more police on the street. We've beaten that to death for the last 6 weeks. I don't know if they've hired any since we've been talking about it, but they certainly can. We got to advertise for officers outside the box here. We got to get in the want ads up in North Georgia, South Georgia, West and East Georgia, and get some people to apply for jobs here. We need to diversify here in that area. There's several things we need to do. Police is very important, and I say it's number one. The question is which is number one. But my pledge has been that I want to get the services to the people in every capacity that you're paying for through your tax dollars at the best service for the best price possible for you. Now we've gotten into contracts and other things. There's a lot to look into, but the number one issue I would say right now is police. And of course, back cleaning up your city is going to help the police. Can you imagine being a Warner Robins policeman and going on Curtis Street looking for somebody, and with all the vacant houses? I think there's one house occupied by people down there now. Well, they're not policemen anymore, people. They're Army Rangers. They're going in houses, looking around corners and don't know who's in there, and they're the ones with the flashlight. We've got to put a stop to that. The police are doing a good job for what they got. We've got to help them. We've got to get more boots on the street, and I think everybody in Warner Robins will be very happy when that happens. Thank you very much.
Mr. Jones.
Well, I too think that our public safety departments, our police and even fire are important to our city. I think that's outside of the base, but it also makes up what we need to do in order to support Robins Air Force Base, and that is have a safe community outside of the base. I think we are losing, over the last several years, we have lost many great police officers and many great firefighters as well. And the reason why is because we have such a low morale within the city workers as a whole. And I think that part of the reason is because we haven't been focusing on the right things in the city. And we need to bring our focus back to what's best for the city of Warner Robins and communicate and cooperate with each other and get things done. Our police officers need all the money that we can give them, but we can't give them everything they deserve. I've been out there and watched them do their jobs on many calls, and you just can't pay them enough to do the job that they do. And the police officers we have are great, but we're losing too many of them. We gotta find a way to stop cutting their benefits as city employees. We gotta give them the strong benefits that we've always had as city employees. We gotta find a way to bring up the morale. We gotta find a way to give them the respect that they deserve as public servants that they are. And that's within our police department. That's within every department of our city. We need to know, listen, I know this, having been a city employee for 27 years, I know that you can't make enough money working for the city. You just can't. In any municipality, it's not the nature of the beast, but you pay them all you can. You give them the benefits that you can give them, and then you give them the respect that they deserve and they earn. And when you treat people like that, they're giving you as citizens the services that you're paying for, and that's really what it's about. So I think that public safety is huge, but we need to take that philosophy throughout all our city employees.
Council President, here comes the next question.